Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. Today we are diving into the fascinating world of logic and discussing a fundamental concept, propositions. Have you ever wondered what a proposition is and why it is so important in the world of reasoning and argumentation? Well, you are in the right place. By the end of this video, you will have a clear understanding of what propositions are and why they can only be true or false but not both at the same time. Let's get started. So we'll begin with a brief explanation of what basically a proposition is. So proposition is a logical statement. It is a logical statement. It can either be true or false, but certainly not both at the same time. Okay, it cannot be both at the same time. That is just not possible. See, propositions are the building blocks of logical reasoning, and they form the basis of our ability to make coherent arguments and draw meaningful conclusions. So, for the sake of understanding, let us see some examples. The first example that I would like to put forward is, it is raining today. Okay. Now the question is this a proposition? Well, yes, this is a proposition because it can either be true or false, but not both at the same time. You can't say that it is raining today, yes and no, all at the same time. Either it is raining or it is not raining, but not both at the same time. Similarly, let's see another example. He is hungry. Now, when we talk about statements like this, we do not know who is he. This is a question mark. Okay, so this is not a proposition because it's not clear who is he. Therefore, I cannot decide whether this is true or this is false. Similarly, there can be another statement, say 3 plus 2 equal to 20. Now, we know that this is a false proposition. This is a proposition and a false one. If it is 3 plus 2 equal to 5, we know that this is a true proposition. But if I say something like x plus y equal to 63, this is not a proposition because the value, whether or not 63 will be a true or false value, okay, that depends on the value of x and the value of y, which is unknown. So there is an element of ambiguity over there, and this is the reason why this is not a proposition. Okay, let's see a few more examples. This statement is true. Again, this is not a proposition because this statement, we do not know which statement are we talking about. The statement is not fixed. Therefore, this is not a proposition. 1 is a prime number. This is not a proposition. This is a proposition, and this is a false proposition because we all know 1 is neither prime nor composite. it is raining today and I will not play. So this if you analyze, this statement has got two pieces. This is the part number 1, this is the part number 2, and it is joined by an AND operator. This is also a proposition, it can either be true or false, and this is also a proposition which can again either be true and false. Okay, I will not play, I may be saying the truth, I will not play, I may be saying a false statement. Similarly, it is raining today, may be true, may be false, and it is joined using this operator, AND operator. So this type of example, it is called as compound proposition. Similarly, let's see a few more examples. If I say tomorrow it will be cloudy, it will be cloudy. If I say this, tomorrow it will be cloudy, this is a proposition. It may become true, it may become false tomorrow, that we will see tomorrow, but for sure this is a proposition because it is very declarative and very assertive. I'm commanding it will be cloudy tomorrow. But instead of this, if I say something like someday it will be cloudy, we do not know when is that someday coming. So since the someday is a variable, it's not fixed, therefore it brings in certain element of ambiguity, and this is not a proposition. Even if I say something like this, something very similar to this statement that we made over here, if I say something like this, tomorrow it may be cloudy. Now I'm not declaring something, right? If here it will be cloudy means I am being very assertive. Here I am being very ambiguous. Maybe it will be cloudy, maybe it will not be cloudy. Therefore this is not a proposition also. Let's take another statement. Everything is good. This is a proposition. Okay, I think we have done enough of examples. Let's move on to something called as liar's paradox. So let's say there is a sentence. The sentence is, or the proposition, and the proposition is I am lying. So what happens in this sentence is, if I conclude it, let's say this is the column of conclusion. Okay, and say let's keep another column, actual meaning or something like that. Let's say actual meaning. Okay, So if the statement is I am lying, and if I conclude that yes, I was lying, and therefore this is true, that means I was speaking false because I lied. So in the next instant, if the actual meaning is false, you have to conclude it as false. And if you conclude it as false, if I am lying is false, that means I was speaking truth. Therefore, the actual meaning becomes true. If the actual meaning was true, we have to conclude it as true. And if we conclude it as true, then that means that I was lying. That will again, the actual meaning will become false. This might be confusing, but just try to understand. Just replay this section 1 or 2 times, you will get through. So if you see this statement is getting into an infinite cycle of true, false, true, false. The moment you try to conclude this statement as true, it becomes false. The moment you try to conclude this as false, it becomes true. Another example could be another statement. Let's say this statement is false. If I have a statement like this will also follow the same thing. If I conclude it true, then the statement becomes false. And if the statement is actually false and I conclude it as false, just because I have concluded it as false, that means I'm saying the truth. So it is also following the same vicious cycle of, if you conclude it true, it becomes false. If you conclude it false, it becomes truth. So that is what a liar paradox is all about. I think that's about this in this video, and we'll see you in the other video. Thank you.